you get released from WWE, and you called me.
I did.
And do you remember? It's just a funny moment in the call. I don't think you remember it, but I remember it like it was yesterday. It wasn't a call I was expecting. I think I was at the Nightmare Factory or whatever. It happens. You called me and told me, and I didn't say anything. I kind of just lingered upon you telling me. And do you remember what you said?
I do not.
You go, got to say something. And it was so jarring because that was a day that a lot of releases were happening and stuff like that. Now we've talked about the call coming back. You're here, of course. You more than a great many of people. Clearly, you deserve to be here. You deserve this moment and the moments that are coming to you.
Sure.
What's the first thing that comes to mind when you did get released in terms of, did you have a plan? I think a lot of people look at you because of how well you promoted yourself, how high production values, which we'll talk about, that you put into your work. Did you have a plan? Because it looked like you did, or did you not?
Did not have a plan.
Right.
So when I got released, it was the very beginning of the pandemic. There was nowhere else to really work. There was no independence to work.
Yeah.
The world was shut down. Also, the year prior, I don't want to say everybody in WWE, but everyone I knew got offered 5-year new deals, and I didn't take it because I didn't know if I wanted to stay or go because my career had a lot of highs and lows, as everybody's does. So I wasn't sure. And the anxiety for that whole year, am I going to stay? Am I going to go? Am I going to stay? Am I going to go? When I got fired, it was like they made the decision for me.
Yeah.
It was like this instant weight off my shoulders. And I needed to get fired. I needed to go out there and find who was Matt Cardona. The Zack Ryder guy, it was great. I'm so grateful for it. The woo-woo, it was awesome. But it had to change, and it wasn't going to change in that WWE environment. So I had to get let go. But yeah, no real plan because, like I said, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah,
there's no indies.
I applaud because I feel like, and I would not usually put this guy over on this podcast, but I will here. Drew McIntyre is somebody who left or was released and found his way, and then started finding, ooh, I can make noise.
Yes,
I can bang the drum loud enough that my friends at WWE, at the higher ups, are looking. Oh, he's doing it.
Right.
Something that I was very impressed with is you invested. Again, like a classic invest in yourself. But when you're, what's it called? The Ecto Cooler? when you're
Ecto One,
Ecto One, when you're driving in a Ecto One Ghostbusters official vehicle into independent shows where they didn't even know how to get a car in the parking lot, for that matter. And then you're working with promoters, you're working with promotions like GCW. You're trying to give these big visuals and this high production value, which works because that's the character you are. You've been at WWE, but also it's a little bit of a nudge. You guys could use this too. It's not that don't try and be too cool for school, guys.
Right.
Go big. I thought it was really incredible, and I thought you took what Drew had done, a little bit of what I had done, and I think you made it very, very much a different blueprint and a different bar.
I appreciate that. And I certainly stole from you. I stole from Drew, but I added my own flavor. And I was the WWE guy in the indies.
Yeah.
And I was going to make people hate me for being the WWE guy.
Right.
So I win the GCW world title in this death match, call myself the death match king.
Yeah.
I only had one death match.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like people to this day at autograph signings, oh, I love all those death matches. I did one.
You did the one.
But I took that title, I made it a spinner.
Yeah.
I made it Velcro. I called it the GCW universe. If you're going to hate me for being a WWE guy, you're going to really hate me for being a WWE guy. And I treated every big show like it was WrestleMania. Because if I'm not treating it like WrestleMania, then why am I even doing it?
Sure. I wanted to ask about, you're going into this match with Nick Gage.
Yep.
And it's an iconic shot that everyone who works in a wrestling company that makes money from men and women falling down in a ring saw a clip.
Yeah.
Saw whether it was you walking in the ring in one of the most contentious moments, or saw you getting pelted with beer cans and all kinds of things after. Were you nervous? And this is my thought. We don't have to talk about companies or this person you wrestled specifically, but what you were doing was not your forte.
No.
What you were doing was a death match, and we look it up, folks.
Yeah.
It's what you were doing was that. Were you nervous? Because I always found you to be a bit of a skittish.
Yeah.
That you were an old school type wrestler. Skittish is not the word. We're not supposed to really hurt each other.
Right.
We got to do it again tomorrow night.
Yep,
Now it should look like we do. Like the Bret Hart thought of make this look amazing, but we need to do it every night.
Still late in a little bit. I'm a little snug.
Obviously, I know you're, and Chelsea has reiterated that not snug, but considered rather stiff. Were you nervous going in? And what are your thoughts pre Nick Gage death match and post? Because this is a point where you got everyone's attention.
Yes. So this is a couple months into my indie run. Who is Matt Cardona? I didn't even know. I knew. Am I just Zack Ryder with my own name? That sucks.
Right.
I needed to find myself. I thought about like people are gonna want to see Zack Ryder get carved up by Nick Gage.
Yes.
And I knew it would create buzz, but I did not anticipate the amount of buzz it would create. Like it changed my career, it changed my life. Like social media, it's a big deal. I'm the internet champ, right? But like that night, it trended #1. That match over the Olympics and like an independent wrestling show in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Because people, whether they bought or they wanted to just read about it or see it on Twitter, they wanted to see.
Had to look and see what you were doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the fact that I won, oh man. And it was, I didn't dip my toe in it. I did a cannonball into that death match. It wasn't a street fight. There was the pizza cutters, the glass, the light tubes. Like if I was going to do it, I was going to do it. And I knew I'd get a little bloody. So I wore like all white, like a white t-shirt, but that white shirt was maroon afterwards, just covered in blood.
After it, would you do one ever again?
I'm not saying I would never do it again.
Great. Yeah.
But like the circumstances need to be right. The opponent, the story, the money.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Crumbs make crumb cake, right?
That's right.
I got that on my
notes.
notes.
Show friends, show business.
Okay. I asked this because you said something.
Yeah.
There was a story.
Yes.
There's such an argument online about, the spots, the storytelling, cinema versus, and I don't think people realize it's both.
It's everything.
And when it's everything, it works. And here's the story. I remember there was a tag match that followed me one time. I'd wrestled Ethan Page. Yep. And I thought we did a great job. And we had a crowd that was already a little contentious, and I was getting boos and things were happening. But I knew we killed it.
Right.
But then there was a match that followed us, and 6 people on X liked it, and it was indulgent. There was no story to it. They worked super hard.
Sure.
It wasn't a matter of not working, but if you're gonna do the death match, as we're talking about here, and we don't have to circle this forever, if there's not a story, then it's just indulgent. If that makes sense.
Someone up with a light tube.
It's 100%.
That, yes.
And that's why I kind of have liked the ones that I've seen. And yours is one that if you see yours, you may not need to see others. Like to have a story going into it. Afterwards, though, this happens. There's photos of the hotel, the bed, all that. Would you say you didn't regret it, right?
Not one day goes by where I regret it. Instantly, in the moment, I knew this is going to change my career.
Okay,
100%.
Yeah, and it did.
It did. I don't think I'd be sitting here if it wasn't for that match.
Yeah,
I don't think I'd be back in WWE if it wasn't for that match and everything I did on the Indies, specifically GCW.
Let me ask you a question, because I asked Kevin this question before that happened. I was trying to go somewhere else. God bless my boy Kevin. Who do you think right now is out there who is kind of the face of the independent scene? Because I think you stayed a year longer than I anticipated you to stay. If that makes any sense.
I stayed 4 years longer than I anticipated.
Okay, like you fill a block. Oh my gosh, look at what they're doing. And then it's like, okay, he's coming home.
Yeah.
Oh, nope. All right. He's still doing it. Right. And then you found new layers.
You had to. And that was the toughest part every single year. How do I top last year? How do I, if you're making the towns, how do you come back? How do you get the promoter to still want to pay for you? How do you still get the fans to want to get your 8x10, your t-shirt, your meet and greet? So you had to keep reinventing. And it was tough, but it was so much fun. I love the hustle. That's one thing I miss about the WWE. I don't get to carry my merch bags. There's no merch bags. So that's the one thing I miss.
You told me something about the hustle.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll like me sharing this. It will probably fall into the Cody Lie category, but it's not. You said that you love the feeling of taking cash and putting it in your fanny pack. You said it was orgasmic.
True. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
Okay.
Because like meeting those fans at these conventions or before the show, I would I wouldn't yell at the other wrestlers who were going over their matches beforehand, but I was like, guys, it's not about, okay, yes, it's about this money, but it's about making the connection with this
100%.
audience, right? Like you're making this face-to-face interaction, you're selling whatever, you're talking to them, you're taking a picture, like they might remember that for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And then oh, I'm a heel, blah, blah, blah. That's a cop-out, right? You just know no
One
wants
of the
to be
biggest
you.
cop-outs.
Why don't you just be an absolute asshole? Don't sell a thing. And then when you come out through the curtain, they'll boo you even louder.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
Well, again, like story, this confusion about what it all is, and you said it best, it's everything. Connection, if I didn't know someone and I met them at the table, and I'm waiting for that guy, but I met this guy,
Sure.
I now have someone I am rooting for.
Absolutely.
Or, man, this guy, I don't like him one bit. I now have someone I'm rooting against. It's the same thing when today wrestling, and I've seen this at the Nightmare Factory. I'm sure you've seen this. Everyone can do everything, it seems like.
Sure.
Oh, what move?
And they're just getting better and better.